At Alchemy of Breath, we use many different breathing techniques depending on the reason or the purpose. But right now, I want to show you the one we use most of all. And this is for either group sessions or one-on-one sessions. This is a breath through the mouth, and it looks like this. It's a connected breath, so you can see that there's no gap at the top of the inhale or at the bottom of the exhale. Why don't you join me for a few breaths and we'll see how it goes. Good. Now you may have felt some tickling at the back of the throat or some dryness, and you may feel a little disorientated already after just 4 breaths. In fact, what we're doing is we're charging our body with oxygen. We're raising the oxygen levels in our bloodstream. And when that happens, there are some physical sensations that you might experience, like that first one of a dryness in the throat. And you'll find if you open the back of your throat and stay breathing, that it'll actually pass. You may also get some tingling around the face or the mouth. I usually get it around the mouth and I go a bit like that. And you may get some other feelings throughout the body. Sometimes you can experience tetany, which is where your hands will go into a slight claw position. And this can actually be a very pleasurable feeling, or sometimes it can be more challenging and crampy. But just know that whatever it is that you do feel in your body, when you bring your breath back to your normal pattern again, it will come back to where you are now. But when we think of the body as an archive, and we remember that every single experience that we've had in our lives is embedded in our cellular memory, what would it look like to walk into that archive and ask some questions? So perhaps you might want to react to any bodily sensation or indeed any emotion that arises with a sense of inquiry. So if I had this feeling in my hands and they had something to say to me, what might that be? Or if I had a feeling in my legs and there was a message I needed to receive, what might that be? So we learn to treat this experience with the open curiosity of a child. And indeed, each inhale is a fresh choice, and we're inhaling fresh air, freshness. Just like that first inhale as a newborn infant, you can claim everything with it. You can be greedy, you can be inquisitive, you can be curious. And just like with every exhale, if you think of what will happen when you breathe your last breath of life, that's going to be a complete let go. So I encourage you. In fact, each cycle of inhale and exhale is really a birth and a death. So if I can detox my body, and we know that 70% of our toxins are exhaled, they come through our breath. If I make room for something new to come in, what might that be? So bring your questions, your life questions, your problems, your issues, your creativity. Bring anything you want to the breath and learn to notice what it is that is different when you begin this practice of the alchemy of breath. Do know you're in complete control, and I recommend you to breathe somewhere between a very slow and a very fast breath, somewhere in the middle, but find a rhythm that's suitable for you. And if you find that your journey is getting too intense, then I really recommend you breathe through the nose, a nice long exhale, something that looks like this. You may hear a slight moan in my voice when I do that exhale, and that's because the body is beginning to calm down right away. Actually, what's happening is we are activating the vagus nerve, and the vagus nerve is known as the well-being nerve. And this is a tip you could take with you any time that you're stressed or upset. Just let that exhale be long, and the longer your exhale is, then the more you activate that well-being nerve. Breathe. Now, as you can see, I'm preparing to breathe, making sure I have a blanket for later in case I get a bit cold, and checking to see that I have a book or something to write with and on, and then simply lying back and settling into the breath. And you'll notice just under the head there is a vertical cushion running along the spine. I've put that there to show you that as an option, because that opens the chest more and ensures a really full, rich breath. And then just settling into that rhythm, filling up the belly, filling up the chest, filling up everything. Imagining filling every cell in the body with freshness with each inhale, and then an easy, relaxed exhale, as if you were just pouring out a cup of water. Now, having removed the cushion, because this is my preferred way to breathe, you can just see the easy, connected inhale and exhale. Notice how I have two cushions under my knees because that helps keep the sacrum comfortable. And this is now an example of what can happen as you raise the oxygen levels in your blood. And here is an example of shifting the energy. If you feel that it's stuck in your body and you want to move it or just explore and see what wants to happen, you can shift the energy by banging your hands and heels on the ground. And just as a hint here, sometimes when I ask a breather if there was something that you were holding on to, what might it be? Or if there's something you needed to let go of, what might that be? I've seen those hands completely relax with one exhale. Then we come back to that lovely, steady breath. Each person has their own rhythm, just not too fast or not too slow. And as we come to the end of the session, when I'll be telling you that you can breathe through your nose again, you may wish to turn on your side and make yourself comfortable. Take any props or cushions that you have and just settle in to a fetal position for a few minutes. You can see I like to hold on to a cushion. And then use these moments to recollect any thoughts before you write them down. Well, that's how easy it is. Now, a couple of more things you need to know. First of all, if you suffer from bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, epilepsy, psychotic episodes, or if you're in a stage of pregnancy, it's best you check with your doctor before you do this practice. Also, after you finish your session, make sure you've given yourself enough time to reintegrate. You can take that book and write some notes or draw a drawing. And most important of all, drink lots of water. That's the way to enable your integration in the most gentle and easy way possible. I hope you've enjoyed this explanation and now you're ready to try any of the breath patterns that we have on our website. Look forward to seeing you soon.